The story begins inside a rundown bus station bathroom, the kind where the lights flicker and the smell of disinfectant never quite covers the decay. On one wall, scratched in messy handwriting, was a chilling message: "I did it." At first, people thought it was a joke, maybe a prank left by a bored teenager. But when an attendant reported it to police, they realized it wasn't just meaningless graffiti. Because written just below, faint but legible, were the initials of a girl who had gone missing 3 months earlier. Was this a random coincidence, or the most brazen confession hidden in plain sight? The police had no idea yet, but this scroll would unravel into one of the most unsettling cases the town had ever seen. White right pointing backhand index, stay with me, because this is just the beginning of a story where guilt, obsession, and arrogance bleed into the walls themselves. The missing girl was Hannah Price, only 16 years old. She disappeared after leaving a late-night diner shift, vanishing without a trace. The town had been shaken, posters plastered across storefronts, vigils held under candlelight. But as weeks turned into months, hope was fading. Now, out of nowhere, this chilling bathroom message surfaced. The handwriting looked rushed, almost carved in panic. But investigators couldn't ignore the detail: Hannah's initials, HP, etched in the corner. For Hannah's family, it was like reopening a wound. Could this really be the killer taunting them? For police, it posed an even darker question. Did the person who did this frequent the same bathroom every day, smugly watching people pass their confession without noticing? Detectives took photos of the wall, scraping samples to test the etching tool. To their surprise, they found faint traces of blood mixed with ink. The message wasn't just written. It was carved into the paint with something sharp, leaving behind microscopic residue. That meant whoever wrote it hadn't just stopped to scribble. They wanted it to last. They wanted it to be found. Police began scouring CCTV footage of the station, reviewing hours of grainy video. But there was a catch. The bathroom entrance camera didn't cover who went in or out. The case was already teetering on mystery, but soon it would spiral into obsession. When news broke about the bathroom wall, the town erupted in whispers. Some believed it was Hannah's abductor finally confessing. Others claimed it was just a cruel hoax. At the diner where Hannah once worked, customers leaned in at tables, speculating in hushed tones. Parents clutched their children tighter, fearing a predator among them. One man, an older customer, made a chilling remark: "Sometimes killers want to be caught. They want us to know." But was this really the killer seeking recognition, or someone framing another? Detectives began questioning locals who often passed through the bus station. One name kept surfacing: Daniel Reeves. Daniel was a quiet janitor, often seen cleaning late at night. He had keys to every corner of the station. More disturbingly, he'd been questioned once before, because he was the last person to see Hannah alive. He admitted she'd stopped by the station on her way home the night she vanished. When asked about the bathroom message, Daniel shook his head. "People write all kinds of things on walls. Doesn't mean I did it." But police weren't convinced. Investigators obtained samples of Daniel's handwriting, job forms, old pay slips, even notes he left for co-workers. They sent them to a forensic handwriting expert. The results came back unsettling. There were strong similarities between Daniel's writing and the bathroom confession. The slant, the pressure, even the uneven letters, everything lined up. But still, it wasn't enough for an arrest. Daniel insisted he was being scapegoated. "If I killed her," he told police, "why would I write it on a wall where anyone could see it?" That question would haunt the investigation for months. For Hannah's parents, the bathroom message was both hope and torment. Hope, because it suggested Hannah's case wasn't forgotten. Torment, because it dangled the possibility of closure just out of reach. Her mother described the pain in interviews. "Every time I walk past a wall, I wonder if she was there, if he was there. It's like living inside a riddle you can't solve." The town rallied with renewed urgency, organizing marches, demanding answers. But police still had no body, no concrete evidence, just a cryptic message in a bathroom stall. FBI profilers were brought in to analyze the message. They concluded that whoever wrote it was craving attention. The wording, short, smug, unrepentant, suggested arrogance. They theorized the killer might visit the bathroom repeatedly, secretly thrilled by the chaos his scrawl created. This wasn't just a confession. It was a performance. And the most chilling part, the profiler believed the killer might strike again, just to keep his audience watching. Weeks later, panic gripped the town again. Another message appeared, this time on the wall of a gas station bathroom, only 2 miles from where Hannah vanished. It read, she screamed. I smiled. The handwriting was nearly identical. Once again, the letters were jagged, carved with pressure. This time, police couldn't dismiss it as coincidence. Someone was playing a dangerous game, and they weren't done yet. By now, fear had consumed the town. Parents wouldn't let kids walk alone. Gas stations and rest stops hired extra staff to monitor bathrooms. Detectives launched a massive search for anyone connected to both locations. And once again, the spotlight fell on Daniel Reeves. He had worked shifts near the gas station. His truck was seen in the area the week the new message appeared. But Daniel denied it all. His chilling words to police. You're chasing ghosts. Maybe I wrote it, maybe I didn't. Either way, you'll never prove a thing. And with that, the mystery deepened. With 2 confessions carved into walls, detectives widened their net. They began comparing the handwriting to other unsolved cases across the state. To their shock, similar graffiti had appeared years earlier, in another town, tied to a missing girl whose body was never found. The phrase wasn't the same, but the arrogance was identical, short, taunting, demanding attention. The question now wasn't just who killed Hannah Price, but whether this killer had been at it for years, hiding his confessions where only the unlucky would stumble across them. Rumors ran wild. Parents whispered about copycats. Some believed the killer was hiding in plain sight, someone everyone knew. A chilling theory spread. What if Daniel Reeves wasn't acting alone? The janitor had no alibi for the nights Hannah disappeared, or when the graffiti was carved. But there were hints someone else might be helping him, someone who knew the roads, the bathrooms, the shadows. For Hannah's parents, the torment deepened. Every new rumor twisted the knife. Their daughter's name was no longer just a memory. It was being used as part of a sick performance. Just when police thought they were closing in, another man stepped forward. He walked into the station and claimed he had written the messages. He was drunk, shaking, and muttered, I did it. I killed her. But under questioning, his story fell apart. He couldn't recall Hannah's last known location. He didn't even know her name until police told him. The investigators were furious. A false confession wasn't just a distraction. It was exactly the kind of circus the real killer wanted. And that's when detectives realized this wasn't about guilt. It was about control. Hannah's belongings were re-examined by her family, searching for overlooked clues. That's when her best friend made a startling discovery. Hannah had kept a small diary, hidden inside her school locker. In the weeks before her disappearance, Hannah had written about a man who wouldn't stop watching her. She described him as always there, like he knows where I'll be. The diary didn't mention a name, but she referred to him once as the janitor. It was the strongest lead yet. But would it finally be enough to break Daniel Reeves? Detectives brought Daniel in again, this time showing him Hannah's diary. For the first time, his composure cracked. He shifted in his chair, clenched his fists, and muttered, Kids write things. Doesn't mean they are true. But when pressed, he grew defensive, snapping. So what if she noticed me? That doesn't mean I touched her. The outburst sent chills through the interrogation room. Daniel was no longer calm. He was cornered. Yet still, no body, no physical evidence. Without it, the case was built on whispers scratched into walls. Just when investigators thought the trail was cooling, another girl was reported missing in a nearby county. The similarities were chilling, young, blonde, working late at night. And within days, a third bathroom confession appeared. One more won't hurt. Panic spread like wildfire. If Daniel Reeves wasn't the man, that meant the real killer was still out there, watching, writing, hunting. The case was no longer just about Hannah Price. It was about stopping a predator before another family was shattered. Investigators placed hidden cameras inside public bathrooms across the region, desperate to catch the writer in the act. For weeks, nothing. Then, one night at 2 a.m., footage revealed a hooded figure entering a gas station restroom. Minutes later, he walked out, leaving behind fresh words carved into the paint. I warned you. The handwriting matched the others perfectly. The man's hood never slipped, but detectives noticed something familiar. A limp, the same limp Daniel Reeves had from an old work injury. The net was tightening. Armed with the video, police obtained a warrant to search Daniel's house. Inside, they found notebooks filled with scribbles, practice etchings, fragments of phrases similar to the bathroom messages. Most damning of all, they discovered a knife, its blade worn from scratching against hard surfaces. Tests revealed traces of paint and Hannah's DNA. The bathroom wall had finally spoken loud enough to be heard. Daniel Reeves was arrested. But the story was far from over. In court, prosecutors presented the chilling evidence: the diary entries, the handwriting match, the paint-covered knife. The jury listened in silence as the bathroom photos were displayed. Each word was like a ghost rising from the walls, screaming for justice. Daniel's defense argued it was all circumstantial, that someone else could have planted the knife, that Hannah's diary was just a frightened teenager's imagination. But the prosecution's closing words pierced the silence. He didn't just confess once. He confessed over and over, in the places we could all see but refused to look. The walls themselves remember what he did. Daniel Reeves was found guilty of Hannah Price's murder. The verdict brought tears, relief, and rage all at once. Hannah's family finally had answers, but not the one they wanted most. Her body was never recovered. The bathroom stall where the first confession was carved was eventually painted over, the words erased. But some locals claim that late at night, when the light flickers, the letters still seem to bleed through. I did it. For Hannah's parents, the story is a cruel reminder that closure doesn't erase grief. For the town, it's proof that sometimes, the darkest truths aren't hidden in shadows at all. They are scratched into the walls we pass every day. White right pointing backhand index. If you found this story chilling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. At True Crime Hub, we bring you the cases that remind us the truth is often right in front of us if we dare to see it.